everyone. Thanks for watching the CB vlog. If you're liking the videos you see here week to week, go ahead and hit subscribe or ring the bell. That way you'll know whenever we come out with a new one. If you love it, go check out our Patreon, patreon.com/commandersbrew, to donate to all the things we do around the internet, audio, video, all kinds of stuff. But without further ado, let's get to the topic for this week.
This week's topic of discussion is Magicfests versus GPs.
Ooh. Right. So a little bit of a background here. As we said off the top of the show, we went to Magicfest this weekend, the first Magicfest in Toronto, because before they were called GPs, of course. Yeah. So we know all these. There's been a lot of changes to the way the Grand Prix work. I don't know why I was going to say it like that, but for better or for worse, whether you're a tournament player or not, there are a lot of changes. And us being casual players, we play Commander, and we'll jump into the side events from time to time, and we're there just as general fans of Magic. We're not there to really grind out tournaments or anything, or even play in any main events, really. But that's where we're coming from, right? We're coming from a pretty casual side of things. So when we talk about the event from this past weekend, that's where we're coming from. Let's talk about our experience. What did we do? We sat down, we played Commander. We sat at the whatever tables we could find, and we played Commander. And this is the first issue I think that anyone who's ever gone to a GP knows about, which is if you're looking to play, if you're looking to sit down, and whether it's practice in between rounds, or it's play a game of Commander, or maybe someone has brought a really neat cube or something, and you want to play it together because this is where your Magic friends from around the area have come to play. Whatever it is, if it's not a part of the main event or any of the side events, you'll know that you're basically not welcome to sit anywhere and play, right? Of course, if the space is there, you can go sit there, but when that on-demand draft fires and they need those tables, you have to get up and go, right? Which is fair, honestly, because that's what they're there for. That's what those tables are there for. They're there for people to, they get the drafts going, the sealed events, and all that kind of stuff. So where should these people go? Because it's not like the people who come in and want to do these things don't contribute to this event, right? This should be this should be a group of people you want at this event, right? And it's not like these people don't then go enter side events and play drafts and buy stuff from the vendors and eat food and all this, right? Because we all do that stuff. The people who want to spend, who want to come there just to play casual with their friends will still spend money there, as well as the people who come there just specifically to enter the drafts and stuff. But there's basically no place where you're actually welcome to play Magic, and that is a massive problem.
I agree. I feel like so our very first GP experience, we didn't understand how it all worked, and we signed up for a package that included entry to the tournament. And it was sort of a draft package where you had your entry to the tournament plus a bunch of draft vouchers, plus the playmat and the fancy foil card and some pens and a notepad. But the issue for me was that I just didn't know. So we didn't even enter the tournament, and our opponents just got first round dropouts. Their first round opponents were us, and we didn't even show up. So that's what happened there, because we didn't know. So this year I went on their website to just look at the packages to see if there was one I was interested in buying. And, because I like drafting a bit, so if you can get a good deal on a sweet package with some nice perks, I think I would jump on that. But I didn't see any. But the important thing to know is that they corrected my sort of mistake. So on the big front page, there's a big panel, an image that said no entry. There's no entry to the event, which honestly, a lot of people aren't sure of that. I've been asked a few times, you think there's entry, but there isn't. But that's
free to enter a GP. It's free to enter what they're calling now Magicfest. It's absolutely free.
And what they mean is it's free to walk in the door.
Yeah.
But it's not, and it is free, you're allowed to sit at tables, but they don't take care of you unless you're kind of spending some money there.
Right.
So if you've entered an event, then you've got a reserved space to play.
Yeah.
But if you haven't, then there really wasn't anywhere for us to go and just hang out and play some games.
And this isn't our first, roll in the hay here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we've been now we've been to a couple of these. We've been to Vegas for 2 years. We've been going to the ones in Toronto for a couple of years now. So like we've been there. We understand how things are. We've seen before and after Channel Fireball has started running these things, and we've seen it now. I've never really had this problem. I mean, we've always had this problem. It's not like Channel Fireball took over and now there's no place for people to play casually Commander. No, that's always been a thing at GPs. But like this one specifically was rough. It was small, and usually I know people are probably saying they're playing. Well, why don't you go to those big round tables they have? That's where lots of people play.
By the food.
Yeah, by the food. They'll go play Commander or they'll go play the cubes or whatever there. Well, first of all, I just want to say that like that is a bad idea for one thing. If we're going to be playing Commander, if we're going to be playing Cube at these big tables that people eat at, like first of all, there's food everywhere. It's disgusting. You're so far away from each other that like, and you're taking up space for the people who want to sit and eat food, right?
Yeah.
So no matter where you go, you're not welcome. You shouldn't be there, right? Is the underlying feeling when you're at this thing and this is what you want to do.
There's a tension there that like at any moment like every time a judge starts walking by with their like shirts and you're just like, oh, they got a box of packs. Are they going to start something here? Are they going to turn and ask us to move? It's not very comfortable. Like I feel like I'm being like watched a little bit.
Yeah, no, of course. And and again, specifically this past one, Toronto, which is the fourth largest market in all of North America. There's New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, and Toronto. Those are the four largest markets, right? When you're talking about, putting a professional
Economics.
Sports team, all that kind of stuff, right? Like Toronto has access to the fourth most people. There were 4 food tables also. Let's just point that out. There were 4 for the entire GP for the entire weekend. So, it was pretty brutal. So no way we could go play anything there. Like people were sitting there at all times eating, as they should have been, of course, because those are the food tables, right? But so, is it unreasonable for us to say, with this next thing I'm going to play, this next game of Commander, yeah, I'm not giving you guys any money specifically for this game, but I want to be able to sit somewhere. Because over the course of the weekend, I am going to be giving money. That's the whole point. I come here, I literally walked around this Magicfest on the first day with $100 in my pocket going, where can I spend this? I'm looking to buy something cool. I want to I'm here, there's got to be something I can't get in other places. And I'll say and one of the other changes that's happened recently with these is that there are way less vendors than there used to be, which means there's way less opportunity for me to spend money, which is a bad thing. But at any rate, I'm there to spend money, trust and believe, you know what I mean? That's
trust
what I'm there.
And believe.
Right? That's what I'm there for. So, but I had a real problem with that this time around. And part of it was because of the bad mood I was in, because of how basically you get treated there when you want to enjoy playing Magic around a large group of people that are playing Magic, right? It's completely bizarre. So I got to say, that if they really want to beef up the fest part of this and less the GP, they've done it the absolute wrong way. It is completely backwards. Even before this specific year, last year we were invited as content creators, we did spell slinging. We were in these bounty events, which people loved. It was so fun. People were lined up to play with Wedge and play with other pros and play with us, and it felt really crazy to be sitting there with Reed Duke and Wedge, and we're just right on that same list of people. That was amazing. We were so stoked. We couldn't say enough good things about the GPs, and so much so that here we are the next year, and we said, you know what, we're going to go to 3 of them. We're going to go to 3. We're going to travel. And maybe even 4, because this year it's going to be tough for me to get to Vegas. But Sean, you're probably still going to go to Vegas, right?
I'm hoping to.
So 4. That's 4 GPs we're now planning on going to, because we had such a fantastic time last year with the stuff they did as far as the content creators and meeting fans and stuff. But that is also now gone.
Yeah,
it's gone. Nothing. Nothing. Not like I wrote to them being like, hey, like we'd love to take part if if we can help out at any point, like let us know. The people, again, very nice, but like no like said yeah, okay, we'll get back to you, and then never did. That might be coming from on high, that might be coming from other places, who knows, but like the bottom line is that's gone. So like that positive thing that was happening is now gone. It's smaller. We're feeling like we're not welcome. Like it's become just about the tournament now. You've gone farther away from the feeling of this is a gathering and almost like a convention, like Comic-Con, where it's just come in and walk around and see all the cool stuff that's happening. That is not the feel now. The feel is the absolute opposite. And here I am on my show talking about Commander, where last year I was like, let's all go to these things, they're so fun. Now I'm saying they're brutal. You get treated poorly, don't bother.
Yeah,
Because
that's a big
bad.
twist. I mean, yeah, I try to be a positive person, and I'm like, so what are the positives? Like, I do love being surrounded by Magic players. Like, I do love like seeing people walk by as like, oh hey, are you playing Commander? Do you want to play Commander?
Yes.
Like, that's a great feeling to have. I love hanging out with our old friends, like the people we've met at past GPs, putting faces to names I've read and everything. Yep. We saw some great folks.
Oh man, so many. I mean, we can't list all of them, but like standouts. Like obviously we saw dudes from our own play group who came and showed up.
Oh yeah, we
our boy
showed up.
Mike was there. Dan.
We made friends I think last year or the year before, but Phil and Bailey, who do a lot of Commander work, they did the Commander package, and we're playing Commander all day. They're so nice to play with. Our buddy Noah, Michael B. We met Michael B. before. We never put a face to his name before.
That's right. Oh man.
Cam came by to say hi. We didn't get to play with Cam, but he made these cool proxies for staple binders that he gave to us that we could use. I mean, yeah.
Those are awesome. Our boy Regan, our boy. Oh man, there's like we said hey. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm sorry if we're forgetting in this moment, but trust me, the experience was great. We loved playing and hanging out with everybody. Like that's the best part of a Magic Fest.
These things. There's some this thing that we're talking about. There's some negativity there, but like overall, I still did enjoy playing Commander with all the people that we play Commander with this weekend. That's
Absolutely.
Never going to change. Doesn't matter. I just like playing it, and the people I'm playing with are the reason to do it. So we were getting moved and we were getting frustrated, and luckily one of the tables beside us like finally kind of had enough, because we were kind of floating around with this other group of Commander players, and they got a little bit heated. They weren't rude or anything, but they were just like frustrated. And to their credit, I will say this also, that the people, one of the guys at least working for CFB was very accommodating and really nice, and actually changed like the table number so that we could still sit, because we had just been moved 2 or 3 times and told by a different Magic judge that like this area was going to be safe to sit in and all that stuff. So to their credit, like it's, not everyone there is like working against you necessarily, but the system is, right. The people there are generally quite nice, and they're doing their best, and they're working hard.
That's the thing. Like everybody involved, all the individuals are working hard because they love the game.
Yes.
And they love that people are playing, and nobody wants to be rude about it. Nobody wants to push everyone around, but they got a job to do, right?
Right, exactly.
People paying for tables. So
the answer is to just make an area where where people can sit and they can practice their decks, or they can play Commander, or they can draft a cube or something.
Do trades.
Like make an area for this.
Yeah.
It's better. When bookstores in like the 90s figured out that if they just let people in and let them stay and read, like even read the books, they sold way more. If you let people come in and just hang out at this GP, I promise you they're going to spend money there. Like it's not like you're going to be losing out and you're giving something free to these freeloaders. That's not what a terrible attitude that is, but that seems to be the attitude, which is what I hate.
And who is that attitude? Like, that's the question, though, because the individuals don't have it. The people in the CFB shirts, they don't at all want to like give us a negative experience. And I don't think it's the tournament organized, like the people sitting at the big table, because they got a million tables to manage. That's a hard job. And the people making sure the tournament moves, everybody on an individual level means well, but where does it come from? Why is it like this? Who is responsible? Who do we talk to make positive change, to make our feedback heard?
It's a tough question. It's, you know, is it the organizers? Is it Channel Fireball, which of course organizes all of these? Is it Wizards of the Coast themselves? Does it go higher than that? Is it Hasbro? Like, you know, are these orders to change Magicfest coming from some bigwig corporate person who's just looking at the bottom line? Is it Wizards actively trying to make things better, or are they trying to switch us into this digital space? Or is it Channel Fireball who, again, maybe they're more worried about the bottom line, or I don't know. There's a myriad of possible reasons.
Yeah, we don't know what Channel Fireball's responsibility is in terms of like going back to like Hasbro and Wizards about this. Like, it's easy to say like, well, CFP wants more money, so that's why. But it's like, but they might have certain metrics that they have to meet. That Wizards is like, if you want to keep running these, you got to meet these goals. And like, you know, that's like, once you got too many layers of management, it all breaks down.
Yeah, I'm just worried that it feels like it's a corporate decision, and it seems bad for the game. I've seen like there's speculation going around the internet. You know, if you're on Magic Twitter, you see this a lot. People are talking about the changes, of course, that happened. There's no more coverage at GPs. It seems like they want to shift away from these things being paper tournaments to being these like conventions, and then shift the competitive side of things digitally, so that Magic Arena starts really taking off, which is, I mean, troubling if you're a paper Magic player and you want to play in tournaments. It's I mean, we're at this thing, and we're seeing that that's not the case at all of what's happening, right? Nothing else is being supported except for this paper tournament at this point. So yeah. I don't know whether maybe it's a transitional thing or whatever, but I don't know. But it's got to change. Like if they think we're going back to this event like next year, like they've got to think twice, because I don't know if, like, I'd rather hold some gathering ourselves, you know, like aside from this, because of how how kind of brutal it was to be there as, you know, as this type of player. It just wasn't a positive experience.
Like, I get, so if I go to like a nightclub or something like that, and there's like live music.
When's the last time you've been to a nightclub?
Well, I'll go to like, sometimes like bars in there will have like covers because they've got bands and things going on there. Like,
I mean, that's not, I mean, I thought you were talking about like a club, like,
or just anywhere at night,
like a club.
Sure. But like, or anywhere where you go where they expect you to pay $5 to walk in the door. And that's because someone is there. Maybe there's a live band, or maybe there's a cool DJ who is like an artist doing cool work that you want to enjoy. And I would say the same here. Like, I know that they're free to enter, but after I entered, I felt like I wasn't that welcome. But I would be willing to pay a $5 entry, something like that, if it meant that there would be all kinds of, like, they'd pay cosplayers to come in to like do cool stuff, and if they had like fun events, and like maybe they could fly more artists up so you could meet more artists. And
yes, of course, there were only 3 artists. There were 3 artists.
Yeah, so like if part of my cover charge means there's an area to just sit and play where people don't get kicked out, I would be more than happy to pay that if I knew that my entry fee was going to provide a lot more entertainment and stuff to do, and to subsidize other artists from coming by and showing me their stuff.
As people who want to go to GPs and who do go to GPs, I think like we're seeing some pretty negative changes here, and I think we should make our voices heard and tell them that this is how, you know, we're feeling, and that we think things could be better. It looked like they were getting better, and this year it's just been so far very, very disappointing.
I don't want it to keep going. If this trend continues much farther, I won't want to go even to my own Toronto GP, which is, that one's just one subway and a streetcar ride away. Like, it's like that's the easiest one for me to get to. And if it if this trend continues, I won't want to.
Right, and that's let alone the traveling to go to other ones and contribute to other local economies and local shows and meet even more people around the country and stuff. So we want this to be good. Trust. We definitely want this to be good. So let's talk about how we can make it good and how those companies can help us make it good. And because it's on them. Like we go there, we give them our money. So, vote with your money also. There's also that. Anyways, that's the topic this week. Thanks for listening. Tell us how you feel about it. We want to know. Write in the comments. Hit us up on Twitter. Always. We're always around. If you're in our Discord channel, for patrons, we'd love to hear from you there as well. So reach out and otherwise, we'll see everyone next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Big thanks to all our patrons who make these episodes possible.
Yeah, and if you want to check out more comedy videos, check out our Brews News playlist.
Make sure you follow us on Twitch TV to see when we play live.
If you want to chat with us, head over to Twitter. We're at Commanders Brew.
And please hit subscribe to ding the bell and find out when we got new stuff coming out.
See you next time.
Bye.